Naga, naga, naga. Damn, girl, I didn't know you was full of that drama. We fell out before we even seen them commas. Now you start controlling and having that one rolling. Possessor, no home, acting like you lost your dome. A new king sent on the throne. Go robo, find another bomb. Leave me and mine alone. This temple stands strong. Eventually you gonna see, as reality was meant for thee. Keep on beefing, you can't lose your family. Wasn't this supposed to be for the community? Now you disagree. All you can do is let me be. GPT, PMC, LC, move on without me. Okay, look up, had these snakes around me. That's when I could see them worse than that bitch LV. Google it, bitch. Okay.
Hadouken, Reshatan, Nagas dem Wamigan, Sabakuga, Shadoukan, you get Hedons, Mexicans, Reshi on the Shabbat, Shatitans, Wakama, Defa Dama Al with the mega bombs. So I hit him with them truth missiles. Wow, the truth blitz through with you. No magazines, you ain't get the issues. Front page dissed you. Now you just who? Bringing out old music from 2000 and ooh, Wilma. Dino's at it again. Talking where it's a sin, but has them people with him. Akin. We are veterans, kings die in combat. No training official, only civilian contract. All black suplex, who's next Altaris? Oops, asterisk. The facts they sit, not on his lips. Snitch the switch, no Nintendo. Them boys pretendo, Mattel hoes. It's a Bobby world. Anu Haruku, the tiff and piff grip. Nipple slips on the runway. Someday, no place Sunday. Melt him like a Sunday. Crack the barrel in the sight. Never know a nigga plight, but never scared to take a flight. Bullets might. It seems just like the kites don't fly. Even windy in the city. Whiffy, sniffy coat. If he Trump spoke, busy witty. Serpentine, my son, Kion, spy on, the ride on to the pylon, victory. Sir, it's he, Yama Gim, Fama Shim, Blasta him, cast a vin.
Hello, you on? Something happened. Let's get everything right. Okay. Everyone, I hope everybody having a good day. We here at Newsroom 16.1 is dropping a new series. It called Ears to the Streets. What's going on in your neck of the woods? We're going to be dropping information from the east, from the west, from the midwest, from the southeast to the southwest. We're going to be dropping it. A lot of it going to be some vulgar details, but we also going to be dropping information of what's going on in the streets in your neck of the woods when we talk about places overseas, places that outside of the United States. Some of the stuff going to be ratchet, some of the stuff going to be controversy, but we will be dropping it tonight and many other nights in this new series. So let's get it right. So we got Latoya in the house. Hello, guys. Hope all is well. Everything is great. I hope everything well. So I'm your host, Henry, and co-host Shanakama JML. No other. How you doing tonight?
What's good, big dog? How y'all doing
Good.
tonight?
Good. Blessing be. So we got a show for everyone. We're going to be talking about spring break going on in different cities. What's happened so far. And we also going to be talking about the country of Nigeria, a festival that took kind of the wrong turn. It might be. Let's see the perspective. Let's look at the circumstance of that issue. And also, we're going to be talking about some otherworldly affair. But let's get into spring break. Spring break is at its last leg because different states do spring break at different times. Some did it last week, some did it the week before, and some about to do it this week. Some places already putting zero tolerance and much more. So in Maryland, as I know, because I stay in the DMV area, in Maryland, spring break starting Friday. So I hope y'all children, parents, be responsible and be safe. It's the time for harvest. If you got to get ready to work the fields, enjoy and be plentiful. So let's go into Houston, Texas. We're gonna go south. We're gonna start in the south. Houston, Texas, spring break been kind of new. The type of atmosphere it been because social media played a essential role in this spring break. So let's start the process.
Another important announcement. We try to provide this information every year right around this time. Houston has many great cultural and sporting events that draw people on a grand scale to our city. Annually, there is no larger convergence than what takes place during rodeo and when our children are out of school for spring break.
So two things going on around last week and a week before. The the black rodeo and the rodeos, and you have 4-H events, children rodeos, and many more events, and you also have spring break. We have the good side, and we also have the bad side. So we're gonna start this off with the tip of it.
The list of spring break destinations, it has not always included Houston. That could be changing, though. If you were out and about, scrolling social media even this weekend, you probably saw those enormous, sprawling crowds in the Bayou City. We wanted to know what's behind the big turnout and if the city is prepared with one more week of spring break still to go. ABC 13's Luke Jones joining us live tonight with the impact. Okay, Luke, what's going on?
All right, so 52 million visitors to Houston last year, and right now we're on track to exceed that this year. Some 2 million travelers at Houston's airports this month alone. That was the Houston Airport System's projection. Now, we were curious, so we checked in with HPD with all these extra people. Any downside from a public safety aspect? They say none that they've noticed. Same answer from the Harris County Precinct 1 Constable's office, but plenty of upside for Houston businesses. Houston finally taking center stage as a popular travel destination. New faces all over town the last 2 weekends. Videos circulating on social media show parking lots packed with people waiting to get into clubs. Some spring breakers getting rowdy on the roads. And while business owners are happy to capitalize, it's left a few a little taken aback.
I never figured us a spring break destination.
Ben Berg owns 17 restaurants, including Annabelle Brasserie. It's mainly geared to Houston regulars, but they're not saying no to spring break travelers, and have seen a few of them.
I think it's been better, but do we see a huge difference? I wouldn't say so.
Hotels have seen a far bigger boost.
That's the upside. That's the upside of it. That's the upside. So yes, when spring break do come, the economic impact is full of potential. As you could take something that you sell at a small rate on regular days, when it's spring break or a special holiday, you could raise the prices because supply and demand. You're going to have more people coming to visit, more demand for your product. Because a lot of people come and visit, they might want some souvenirs to bring back home. They want to eat. They want to buy water or alcohol beverages. And you also have beer, you have clothes, you feel you got to go on the beach, you want to buy suntan lotion, many things. So the economic impact is beneficial. Go to shows, concerts, and also different venue. You feed into the economy. The flip side on the economy expectation is that locals would have to be spending higher for products that they mainly spend cheaper, but most local would have local stores away from the tourist area. So now the is to the street is that social media played a big part, big part, because promotion, social media is a good promotionary tool. What I mean by that is you could create a party and put flyers around town and people just read it, and like when they finally read it, they might not be in the area. It might not be no urgency. But if you send it on social media and you promote that flyer, it become an urgency because it's in a lot more people's faces. And more younger
It starts
people.
to go viral, Henry. It starts to go viral.
Viral. Yes. So now,
And then you gotta and then you gotta also realize too, Henry, there's another upside to that on social media too, right? Because
yes,
a lot of content creators like ourselves, but who are in the demographic of the spring break, right? Those folks that's on break from college and stuff. Those are people whose content creators that are in college now. They have no choice but to go out there to Houston on spring break in order to be able to get the content. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that which is
yes,
another upside because they're gonna be able to get views, they're gonna be able to get new subscribers, they're gonna be able to get exposure, and they're gonna be able to have good production in their channels. You know what I'm saying? Because we over
yes.
here at news, we ain't hating on no other content creators. You know what I mean? We want them to do their thing too. You know what I mean? Because that's the law of reciprocating energy. We want to be
Yes.
successful. So, we're wishing success on those other content creators as well.
Yes, yes. So now I agree. I agree. It's like if we would like to throw a party somewhere, let's say somewhere in New Jersey, between me and you, somewhere in New Jersey on New Jersey Beach when it's warm. And a lot of people don't come on our YouTube channel. We promote it on Instagram. We blew it up on Facebook for more people to come to the beach. When they come to the beach, we play the music. We introduce ourselves as the host and also the sponsors. This function is dedicated to us. We put it together to get everybody together. So once they together, hey, we advertise our YouTube channel like, hey, everybody, stop for a moment, take out your phone, sub to the channel for future events. Oh, shoot.
And not only that,
We
and
want to
not
be
only that too,
notarized.
Henry. Not only that too, what else can we do at our party? You know what I mean? What if people like that's content creators like I Show Speed or Kai Sinat show up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's more that's that's more exposure for us because those content creators got more followers and more views than us. So the fact that they're there is gonna boost our followers and our subscribers based on the fact that we had Tyson at the party or we had I Show Speed, and more people is gonna show up just because they're there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And
So that's
sometimes some
that's why it's such a critical thing to have it go viral on social media because you know those high level content creators now they got no choice. They're compelled to show up because they themselves don't want to miss out on that opportunity to get new viewers and new subscribers.
and also facts, and also on to the point that some of these events that sometimes some people it don't have the mean to produce these events. Why I said the mean is that is more than just the money. It's the logistic of the situation as to the point that they might don't know how to talk to the sheriff or to a security service to make sure that everything is safe. Make sure that traffic is smooth. Make sure that people comfortable, that they are not littering, that it's enough of trash can, enough of toilets to make sure that the event runs smoothly and best possible that it could carry on for years to come. So a lot of
And most
YouTubers,
importantly, Henry, hold on. And most importantly, to make sure that it's following city ordinance because it doesn't make sense for you to start up the spring break party and 10 minutes after you start it up, the police is coming in there shutting it down because you didn't have the right permits.
yes, yes. So now we go to the flip side of that coin of learning that, hey, sometimes you gotta be prepared. But you cannot just blame a whole group of people. Individuals. We say individuals. Some individuals is just not good being socialites. And we gonna go from Houston welcoming people, say, come on through, come on through. Then saying, hey, everything is great. The people is out here, it's a lot. We enjoying the festivities till everybody know. Everybody know you don't stand in the middle of a crowd. You try to stand on the outside because if you stand on the outside, you start seeing somebody run, you know to run also. When you see somebody running in public, you know to run also because somebody is about to get ghetto, about to get ratchet, about to set it off in this mother. I can't play the song, but about to set it off and the mother, yeah, little juvenile PG stuff. Yeah, set it
Hell
off.
yeah, you know how it is.
So this is the news report a few days after they say everything was going so great. Let's drop it.
Well, in case you missed it, Houston is now a spring break destination. Who knew? But it's bringing crowds and big business to H-Town. But social media is also revealing another side, an unfortunate side effect, chaotic street takeovers.
So crowds like you're about to see them right here, they've been popping up all over the city, also forcing businesses to close early. Our Joy Addison went over to Edo to discover how those disruptions raise concerns for future events.
Behind me is empty right now, but can you imagine hundreds of spring breakers blocking entrances, fighting and threatening businesses? Well, that's what happened Saturday night, and business owners say they're suffering the fallout of spring break in Houston. This video, too graphic to show in its entirety, shows spring breakers dancing in the street, purposely flashing passing drivers. Those activities spilled into nearby parking lots, causing mayhem.
It was quite a mob outside.
Bar owner Neil Fernandez says his East Downtown business was surrounded by people who were not even customers.
Just dozens, in some cases 100 or more, just kids just in the parking lot.
He shares a parking lot with the Exxon Mobil gas station on the corner of McKinney and Sampson, one of several lots taken over by hundreds of spring breakers. Several fights broke out, forcing nearby businesses and even this gas station to shut down early.
There's two type of groups of people that go on spring break. Only two. There's family, because you have kids in school. Spring break is not for work. They don't have spring break for work. You go on vacation for work, but they don't have spring break. You have children that is off of school and you take them to enjoy spring. So family. And then the second type is kids. Kids. You could be in your 20s and still be a kid. Young and dumb and wet behind the ear. Hey, and that's what we
Hey, and not only that, hey
see.
Henry, we got to go with the modern lingo on this one. They ain't no there. There's some kids, all right. That's them YNs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that's them
the
YNs.
YN.
They're not on spring break because they don't go to college. You know what I'm saying? They're just showing up because it's liquor and it's a party. You know what I'm saying? So that's them YNs. We already know.
So even breaking it down in the category of the YN, there you could say there's three things YNs would be coming for. The D, which is the drugs.
Right.
The S for the sex. And the T, that might be doing a little tourism. Hey. But now,
And they definitely getting drunk.
yeah, we're gonna add that to the drugs. You feel the alcohol.
Yeah.
That's the only way someone would get so belligerent to jump out the car and show their naked butt, flash somebody by showing their front side or their upper side, or moon somebody by showing their naked behind. You have to be drunk because the Mary Jane don't make nobody do that. It'll make you think. It give you
Listen,
that
on the
second
Mary
thought.
Jane, you'll be too aware. You're too self-aware to do that. You'll be embarrassed. You'll be too embarrassed to do something like that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because see, that's one of them things, Henry, that you know. Obviously, this is a little bit of a tangent, but that's one of those things that makes it so the Mary Jane is not really, if you understand, classified as a drug because it makes you think. It doesn't impair you in that sense of that you don't have your right mind anymore. You know what I mean? You might be a little slow, but you're still in your right mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You ain't
yeah.
gonna go out this car. You ain't gonna take off all your clothes and get out this car and start sprinting down the street. You know what I'm
Facts,
saying?
facts, facts. So so now and a lot of people who reach out there, we not focusing on the family. We know the family going to stuff like rodeo. They spending money for something
Yep.
worthy. The adventure, the experience, the family time. So they going to rodeos, they going to carnivals and stuff like that. YNs, they go to events where it is more feasible to bring in that blicky, bring in that
Right.
scrap, bring in that
Because
piece that
why?
needs
You know
done.
why, Henry? You know why? Is because we got to quote another famous down south quote from the music. They parking lot pimping out there. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's cheaper than going in the club.
Yes.
Cheaper than going in the bar.
And then you most likely like I would get if I have five homeboys, partners, friends, five of them in January January 1st, if I go outside and tell all my partners to come outside with me, most likely one or two of them would come and the other ones be like, man, it's cold. I got things to do. But when it's summer, when it's spring, when it's warm, they coming out. All of them, all five of them. And then you run into somebody you dislike having beef, it going down. Or hey, you selling something, you and your partner selling something to out of towner, and they trying to scam you, or you trying to scam them because you hustling. You trying to scam the out of towner, and out of towner like, hey, I brought my scrap. None of these people are playing with me. I'm coming for that mission to give me. So
Right.
things happen. It's in the streets. This
Right.
the is to the streets. We telling it as it is. A drug deal could go
Right.
wrong on these spring breaks. That's why they opening these THC dispensaries around different places so you could go in the shop that actually go like, hey, I'm going to Houston, Texas and trying to get a cheaper pound, or you'll be like Pimp C. Pimp C say, hey, you can't get it cheap like that. Go to Florida. They go to Florida like, hey, I'm gonna run into me somebody from Dominican or somewhere and find me somebody who got that powder, that white,
That white girl.
that candy, whatever you want to call it.
You know how
That
it is, Henry. You
blicky.
know what I'm saying? And not only that, Henry, you know how it is. That's why we were saying before. Those people. Those people who's from the trap. They're from those people is regular Houston people. That's from the trap. That's moving into the spring break because they got to move them products. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
they gonna be amongst the crowd of the people. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, these people ain't from Houston. And remember, you can't in Texas. You can't even go to the dispensary because marijuana is a felony in Texas. It's still a
And then
felony over there.
yeah, and then the other
You know what
thing
I'm saying?
is,
So you got to go to the plug, regardless. You got to go to the plug. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you want to get you a little pre roll or you want to get you a little something, it ain't like Maryland and Rhode Island where we could just go show up at the dispensary doorstep.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta, and now that's when you start getting into type moves because somebody might be like, yeah, let me try to buy a half an ounce because they ain't gonna be trying to buy no 10 bags every time. They trying to get lit. So they think about, yeah, let me get a half an ounce or let me get an ounce and those type of denominations is the ones that you from out of town. They know they ain't never gonna see you again. Those are the ones, the people that's most likely you gonna get robbed.
Yes, and also we talked about the alcohol, we talked about the drugs, we talked about the beef. Walk in the streets, run
Yep.
into your rival. You want to bust, you want to fight, you want to get down. Now we got to talk about the other thing that we said, the sex.
Yep.
Man, if I'm a YN, these females they going to the beaches, they dropping the flyest makeup. Don't even care they got a boyfriend and they in college, they going there spring break. It's time to show off what they is. Have guys walking up to them on that number. Hey, I got a room. You come cheer. Come chill with me and my partner, you and your girl.
Yep. They go. Hey,
They
you gotta
going to the
use. We
club
gotta use
tomorrow.
the lingo. They going. They going.
You feel you you got the bad part of the STX, the sex, and you got the good part. And you got the miscellaneous parts. The good
Hey, and
part
let's not.
is
And Henry, and let's not forget. And let's not forget. We talking about H Town, which right now is one of the number one spots in America for the surge in the HIV, buying them houses in Virginia out here.
yes, yes. Talking about that, let me pull that up. We gonna make sure we look that up. Houston, Texas, and STDs ranks. Houston, Texas ranked 20 in the nation for. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Let's blow this up. Let's not play with the people. Let's show the people
Let's
Houston,
not play with
Texas,
them. Because
STD.
remember, this is still part of news. Never end the work in service, even
Yes,
though this
yes.
ain't the regular news channel, right? You know what I'm saying? This ain't the regular news program, but we still gonna do the work and we still gonna do the service of informing people correctly.
Facts, facts. Like you always have a hood person, they're gonna drop the knowledge to you if you listen to it or not. So can you see this, Shin? Or
Yes,
should I
I
got
can,
the other
sir.
one?
Nah, I
You
got it.
can? Okay.
Yep,
You
Houston, Texas ranks 20th in the nation for chlamydia, 19th for gonorrhea, 11th for HIV, buying them houses in Virginia, people getting real estate out there, and 23rd for primary and secondary syphilis rates. Come on, brother. That's why people ain't, and people's gonna say, yeah, it's it's 20 or it's 19 or it's 23rd. The HIV 11 is still high if you ask me, but we got to realize something else too, though. We're not, see, people is gonna misconstrue the statistic because they're thinking it would only be the top 50 out of the top 50 because they're thinking about it like states. But we're not talking about no states. We're talking about cities, which there's hundreds of cities. Look, it even tells us even further in the article that it's the largest counties in Texas, including Harris County, Dallas. Come on, everybody knows Dallas is big too. That's another big city right there. San
yes.
Antonio, which is another big city. The first three that's named off in Texas is bigger cities than some cities up here up north.
Yes,
You know what I'm
and
saying, Henry?
because Houston, Texas is the fourth biggest city in the nation. The fourth. Houston, Texas.
And then you got Dallas.
Texas.
Is
Texas is a Republican state, but Dallas and Houston and Austin, the popular area, is mainly demographic Democrat, and they have a significant large number of African Americans. We won't lie
And
here.
then you
We
want to
won't
know,
sugarcoat nothing
and let
here.
me lay this down. Let me lay this statistic down for people too, so they can have a grip of what we're talking about. Henry is in Maryland. I'm in Rhode Island. Now, I learned this a long time ago in junior high school when I was doing a project on the state of Rhode Island. The state of Rhode Island can fit into the state of Texas 52 times. For people's understanding, you understand what I mean? In Rhode Island, the city, we only got one big city, Providence. You know what I'm saying? Texas, they just named off four. And we didn't even get into the Fort Worth. We didn't even name off Austin yet. And these cities is counted too among some of the biggest cities in the United States of America. And Maryland itself too. I'm pretty sure Maryland can fit into Texas quite a few times.
Yes,
You know
and
what I mean?
yes, Texas is big. I drove through Texas a few times. um, from Louisiana, starting like from the beginning of Texas to like San Angeles of Texas. That's like 8 hours from coming from the border from Louisiana, and from there to and that's like in the middle. That's not even near El Paso. So Texas is big. It take like hours, 12 hours or more and counting to get from one end to the next end. Now another thing and to add to what a viewer had put, let's show the comment that rating that we showed to Houston, Texas. It is indeed true that this we got to also add in the varia is that in Houston, it is the percentage of people that stay there, but the percentage is a little more higher because of people that go to the doctor who do go and report their symptoms or even know that they have it. So now the main thing that I can say is the first thing I can say is practice accident. You feel? I'm not saying do what they call it when you don't have sex, period. You celibate. Yes,
Celibacy.
celibate. No, you not I'm not saying go forever in your life or months at a time. No, I said be abstinent just for your spring break going to Houston, Texas. Or if you do want to go and shake a tail fella, make sure you use protection. But remember that condoms do not protect against every STD. We trying to because we at News never in the working service. We want to at least make sure that you are safe.
Right.
To make
Because
sure
remember, we're
that
always trying to inform the people to make good choices based off critical thinking skills.
yes, because remember, there's two groups of people that go on spring breaks. There's family that going with their children to show their children that hey, you could achieve things in life with hard work and dedication and could enjoy yourself with that, with family, the memories. And then it's the Y ends. We said kids, but the Y ends. The Y ends go out there. They know what they going out there party. So now
Yep.
we
You
got
heard Gucci. Let's get wasted.
yeah, and then now we got events that also not just in Houston, Texas, because everybody not going to Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is not just the only spot. You got Galveston Beach in Texas. we can flip over, skip Louisiana because I'm from Louisiana, and I can tell you one thing: you do not want to go on none of them beaches. You feel that is now. If you go on one of them beaches, you better be going look for some fish. You better go fishing. The best place for fishing, but to go on a lovely beach and feel some fresh blue water, we could go ahead and say that we could go to Florida. But some Florida cities is getting locked down. And that's what brings us to our next topic. We going to Daytona Beach. That's Miami. That's a lot of places. Florida.
West
Florida
Palm
is
Beach,
shed a lot. Oh,
Tampa
Palm Beach,
Bay.
yes.
Shoot. And you know what? You know what Charlemagne says about Florida? The craziest people in America come from the Bronx and the whole state of Florida.
Yes, yes, yes. But we dealing with kids. We dealing with kids who thank you for the comment. Thank you for being in the comment because you also steer the conversation. These are kids here. You know, like kids be forgetting to take the trash can off. Some kids don't have parents that teach them how to put a rubber on correctly. This is the streets. We gonna bring it a little hood
Listen,
with it.
and not only
The
that,
real.
Henry,
We
you
gonna
know
be
how
real.
some of these young kids is reckless too. They just going
Yeah.
to the spring break to see who they gonna shoot.
Yes. Rob. Yeah.
They're
So
going there
now.
looking for they're going there looking for the problems.
Yes. Yes. You will go out there, enjoy that sun, and do some exercise. You could enjoy the moment because walking around is the exercise in itself. So yeah, so
And we
now
talking about Florida. You could be playing beach volleyball or throwing or chilling with your people, throwing the football around on the sand. Like you know what I mean? Like just
yes,
trying to be
yes.
chilling. And then you got these YNs who ain't got no type of beach clothes on. You should have already knew they was up to no good when they didn't have no beach clothes on.
And with a backpack that's stretched to the front. Let's go into Florida.
This morning, after chaotic spring break scenes like this along the Florida coast, Daytona Beach officials issuing a temporary 8 p.m. curfew for anyone under 18. Law enforcement officials establishing a special event zone along the beach and enforcing the curfew within that area through next Thursday night.
You will physically be removed from the venue and processed at another venue.
The Volusia County Sheriff also cracking down on promoters who are allegedly publicizing unpermitted and unsanctioned Daytona Beach takeover events. They say they're draining local police, fire, EMS, and trash resources.
You are being noticed that if an event pops up here this weekend, we're going to have the rest of your money to pay for this thing.
This weekend, Daytona Beach set to deploy more than 100 officers, including state troopers, on foot patrol just to manage the crowd.
It's not like these folks RSVP, so it's somewhat of a guessing game as to how many people are actually showing up.
Miami Beach, known for implementing strict spring break restrictions in the last few years, now taking a different approach. Giving spring break a makeover and promoting health and fitness, a strategy that seems to have worked. Officials saying there were no shootings or fatalities over the past 2 years.
We are making a deliberate pivot away from a party-centric spring break of the past and towards a month that celebrates all that Miami Beach has to offer.
Yes, yes. Facts. A different state can't have nothing. They so dumb who want to get in trouble with the law in a different state. YNs. YNs.
Them YNs.
Like, like People could change in life. We was young. We was dumb. I can't lie. But I didn't have the means in the mind
Yeah, but
frame
Henry, there's a key
to do.
difference. We wasn't as reckless as these YNs nowadays. You know what I mean? They don't got no guidance. They didn't
No,
have no
no, no,
guidance.
no, no, no. We ain't gonna play that old game. What I mean by old game is that the old folks like, oh y'all young generation gonna destroy this earth. But our parents told us that same thing. That's why we had spring break, girls gone
Yeah, but
wild.
Henry, hold on, though, because in the '90s and the early 2000s, we still had general guidance. Even if you didn't have your parents at home, when you was watching TV, you had them commercials like, "I nobody said I want to be a junkie when I grow up," or "This is your brain with the egg, and this is your brain
Yeah.
on drugs." So come on, bro, they was still giving us guidance, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
This
the TV
generation
the
don't have those things.
the culture known the society and the television. When like the television where it was to the
It's 10
point
o'clock. Do you know where
where
your kids is at?
yeah, it was a censor. But now we got the internet and we got the TV where you can see a man picking up another man by his butt tuck halfway naked. Society just went down the drain. Yes, yes, you would say
And the guidance, you mean guidance went down the
yes,
drain
yes,
because
yes.
it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. When we was growing up, even if you didn't have parental guidance, it was in the United States of America at that time. They were still in a greater community. You know what I'm saying? That's why it was asking you that on TV. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids is at? Or the street lights is on. Are your kids home safe? Like it's asking questions that you need to hear. Or when you're watching Saturday morning cartoons, it's showing you the brain on drugs commercial with the fried eggs. You know what I'm saying? Or they're telling you the commercials about, oh, make sure that if you got questions about drugs or alcohol, that you talk to your dare officer at your local school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was when the greater society was part of the more intricate community. We was more involved in the raising and the guidance of the youth, where nowadays it seems like they just want to let these youth they're in the free for all.
Yes. And yes, in some cases you could have that rite of passage. You and your homeboy, or you could say your sorority, your fraternity. Y'all go on spring break and act a fool. Act a fool. But you still have limitations. Limitations. Because you don't want to go and to a situation where you can't get out of the situation. So now, this crazy stuff like this don't just happen in America. We're gonna go
Right?
international now. There's a story that been going on. There's a story that been going on. We're gonna go to TikTok first. What TikTok talk about? Then we're gonna go about what the news reports say. Because we're gonna go with the gossip. We're gonna go hear what everybody else say. Then we're gonna see what's really being said.
Yeah, we gonna
A
fact
rape
check that with
festival?
legacy media.
Yes, yes. So let's play it.
A rape festival? Nigeria is having a rape festival in Orzo. And it's 7 days? Noah, get the boat. Get the boat! What do you mean? And they're like, oh, women stay indoors so you don't get gang raped. Men, what are y'all even doing attending? Why are y'all going? Only the police should be there investigating. It should have been shut down immediately. We can even be like, oh, the government's so trash in Nigeria. No, this has got to be just some male run. Like, what? Y'all are doing too much. Doing too much. A 7-day rape festival. And what if you're not one of the women that lives there? No one's going. What if you're coming from like travel or like for business? And then you just go on the streets and you're literally attacked by a group of men for this. I can't even. I literally can't. It's so disgusting. And it's just like, oh, men, what are y'all doing? Y'all gotta shut the shit down immediately if y'all the only motherfuckers there. Every day it gets just worse and worse for women, worse and just, I can't keep up, y'all.
It sounds like some Epstein Files type activities over there.
No, I don't see it that way. I think like we could cry. We'll make these women victims. Ha ah. There's real victims. I agree. I concur. There's real victims. But we gotta look outside of this Western frame state of mind.
Right.
Like let me explain this. Like let's play the story, the news story, and then we're gonna go deep into it of why I just say we not gonna look at this as a rape festival, a great festival. Let's go into it.
The scenes of women being attacked in a traditional festival has sparked outrage in Nigeria, especially because many people just stood by while these women were groped and stripped by gangs of men. Videos from this festival cannot be shown as they are highly distressing. This footage is believed to be from the Aluedo Festival in Ozoro, Delta State. The video sparked national outrage with the hashtag #StopRapingWomen trending across Nigeria. The king or Ovie of Ozoro has said that the Aluedo Festival was simply a fertility ceremony and that what happened was a misuse of tradition by some youths. Traditional authorities say that only 2 women were harassed and insists that this is more criminal than cultural. The Delta State government has also backed this by saying that there is no recognized festival within the state that permits for sexual assault. Human rights groups say that regardless of the intent, stripping, groping, and forced public humiliation of women are all considered as serious gender violence crimes in Nigerian law. Across Nigeria, harmful traditional practices like the forced widowhood rites and genital mutilation have been long used to justify violence against women and girls. Nigeria's Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act outlaws such practices, but enforcement has become very inconsistent. 15 people are now in police custody, including a festival organizer.
I'm gonna go simple like this, Shan. If I walk up to you and slap you in the face, a police officer is right there, and you say, "No, I'm okay with it. I wanted him to slap me, or I don't want to press charges." They're gonna let me go, correct?
Of course.
So now let's understand this. This is a tradition. This festival is traditional.
Right.
Hundreds of that means it is hundreds of years old. This tradition, because
Right.
now when my father, around the time my father died, he was in his 70s, and I was young, not even a teenager. I was in elementary. So counting years, and I'm in my 30s, I passed 25 years, added to the years that he passed away. So that's 100 years. So hundreds on hundreds of years, this is a tradition that these people ban.
Right.
They ban single women. This is a fertility festival. After men get married, they join this festival. And if you're a young man, because you gotta understand Nigeria is not well off like that. You have a poor community, not a poor community, a downtrodden community where you have youth. You have youth who don't have the money or the means to have relationship type value. So they go out there like this is our festival where we could party. Everybody, all the men get out to party like single women. You come like to
Yeah,
party,
Henry,
and
you
you
know
know
what it
single
would be
women. You come to
comparable to
have
in America?
sex.
You know what it would be comparable to in America, Henry?
Was
Even though
that?
we don't have it no more? The Freaknik.
Yes,
It's
the
like the Freaknik.
Freaknik.
You know what I'm saying? Like off rip. Like some of these youth on this live might not know what the Freaknik is, but it was a legendary party from the '90s that they would have in Atlanta. You know, during the spring break. Here we go back on the spring break again too, because we
Yeah.
already know, as me and Henry've done previous shows on Easter and Passover in spring, and how it's related to fertility goddess Isis and all of that. We've already done those. We've done those shows for you. So if you want to check that out, those are very informative shows. So go on ahead and check those out. And but you got to realize all they're doing is the traditions of old. These traditions of fertility have been around for thousands of years, not just hundreds of years, thousands, millenniums. We can go back to even the earliest civilizations, and during the spring they're having fertility festivals. You know, that's where the tradition comes from. You know,
Yeah.
that's how we gotta be. And then not only that, Henry, what about from the great state of Louisiana? What fertility ritual do y'all have in the spring?
The great and mighty Mardi Gras. Like it's about party, but it's a sun. It's the sun renew. It's still directed towards the sun and its growth going into Easter. Mardi Gras have ties. Whenever Mardi Gras occur, that's so many days, like 11 days, because from Mardi Gras you go into Ash Wednesday, and then you go through fasting. You go through Lent all the way
Yep.
to Easter, which is time for renewing Christ's rebirth, going down the cross from the last year, die for the winter, and rebirth for the new year, the spring equinox. And now we have here in Nigeria, we gotta also look at the basics here. Nobody reported nothing before it went viral.
Right.
There was no victim here. If it was some people who got sex, we
And you
gotta
gotta think
understand this.
about it,
Wait, wait,
Henry.
wait.
If it's
Let
a
me say
whole
this real quick.
festival,
So wait, let me say this for purposes. This is for media and entertainment purposes. I want to clarify everything. If these young females got violated and they cannot express themselves, and they really, my condolences, newsroom condolences go out to these two young ladies. But we gotta look at the basic in the law and what the facts is. We looking at the facts. Sometimes the facts is hard to deal with, but we gonna bring the facts. So Shin, what you was about to say?
I was gonna say to add on to what you're saying, because what you said was a good setup for what I was gonna say. You have to think about it in the terms of a ratio, right? You know what I'm saying? A ratio.
Yeah.
So if it was two women who was SA'd, right? Then, but it was 2,000 women at the festival, then the ratio of women who was violated is extremely small, which means everybody else was on their best behavior. And on top of that, they were probably the majority of them consenting adults, which is important in these type of situations that it's consent involved because that's what makes it mutual. You know what I'm saying? They know that they're at these women showed up knowing it's a fertility festival. These men showed up knowing it's a fertility festival. And not only that, Henry, to build on what you said earlier, a lot of these teenage to mid 20s, late 20s year old men is going there to try to find wives. You know, that's what the fertility festival was for time immemorial. Because you're gonna mess around, show up at the festival, and you might leave up out of there with your wife.
Yes. Let me
You
ask
know
you
what
a
I'm saying?
question. Let me ask you a question. Would you go to Iran right now? Right now,
For what?
would you go to Iran?
Hell no.
Why?
Because I ain't trying to get no bombs dropped on my head.
Because you research or got that you just saying that or did you do your due diligence and research that?
Listen, I'm doing my due diligence. We talking about 18,000 bomber missions in the last 3 days.
So one thing because we know this young lady is young. Who the first video come from? We know this young lady young. She like, what about visitors and stuff? One is if you a visitor, you gotta at least do some research of where you going. I'm not just leaving United States and say, oh, I'm gonna go to Nigeria. Oh, I'm gonna go to this small town in Nigeria that I don't know nothing about. I'm gonna just go here. I'm gonna just
Henry,
go wherever I point.
let's give a good example for the people, right? A lot of people go to Dominican Republic on vacation, etc. And we always see consistently on the news couple on vacation in Dominican Republic unalive. You know what I'm saying? We start seeing, oh, gentlemen go for vacation in Dominican Republic, found unalived in their hotel room. You know, because why? Because people is not doing their due diligence to know where you're at.
Yes. And also, but now by people going on vacation, when you go on vacation to Dominican Republic, they have a statistic of the type of crime that's going on in the percentage thereof. So you walk in the know. You not 100% for sure because life is not like that. Life is not perfect. A
Yeah,
perfect
but see, Henry,
variant.
you also got to take it. You also got to take into account if me and you was going on vacation to the Dominican Republic, when we show up to the resort, the people who work at the resort is gonna warn us off rip. Listen, don't go to this area, that area, or this area because those are high crime areas. Don't go over there.
Yes.
We
And
can't
also,
we can't
yes.
protect you. And they're gonna tell you. Remember, this is true for Jamaica, Colombia, all the places international. They tell you this. We cannot protect you if you leave off the resort. We cannot protect you.
Yes, yes. And also
And a
you
lot of
gotta
people got the nerve. Hold on, let me say this too, Henry. This is the final thing, and then you got it. And a lot of people have the nerve to think like it's America. I be man, forget that. I be in the hood when I be at home. Like you know what I'm saying? Like not knowing that this ain't America. This ain't them same hoods. You know what I'm saying? These people is out here. You think it's a struggle to live in the hood in America? You're forgetting these people in these other countries outside of America. Their hoods make our hoods like look like it's luxury.
yes. And also
Yeah.
to the point of this, when it come down, I'd rather go to the Dominican Republic, where it's a percentage of it's facts of information that tell about the location. But going to Nigeria and just pick up a location because it say, oh, it's a fertility festival. If I read something say, oh, this is a fertility festival. Then I read up what it's about. Is this a pagan holiday? Is this a Christian area? What is the violence dealing with this area? Can I bring my family? I would do my due diligence of reading. So now, by doing due diligence of reading, you find out. Let me share the screen. Okay, here you go. There we go. Can you see it? Or should I blow it up
Yep.
more?
Now we got it. Delta women
Okay.
assault. Why unmarried girls are barred from the Ozoro Festival, community leader says.
So now we understand that they barred unmarried women. So now we gotta understand the world will never knew, Nigeria will never knew this situation because three things might have occurred. One is that they wanted to go out to that festival and have fun. And sometimes parties, things happen. Yes, because now we gotta understand this. The girls did not report this. The two females on the video did not report this. No one would never even know about this. Also, we hear on the news. The news said people stood around and did nothing. That's mothers. That's mothers and fathers, the community, shop owners. They did nothing because this
Now
is a
remember, Henry,
dish.
that's the now see, we have to go back to what I was talking about with the law of consent, right? So if they did nothing according to the law of consent, that means they consented to the behavior that they was witnessing.
Yes.
So so according to good discernment and good judgment, that means they're equally as much involved and responsible and should be held equally accountable as the people who did the acts.
So because you gotta understand it's to the point of this. We gonna explain life because this the ears of the street. Is to the street. Let me blow it up. We gonna get back to the article. You got a situation where you have fathers who want sons, but they too old. They don't have no wife, but they got daughters. They poor. They can't find no good husband to take their daughters. In this festival, they could throw their daughters out like, hey, this your first time. We need you to just have a kid. They don't care about who the father is. The community gonna help these women. So they might throw their daughters out with these young men, and whatever young man grab to them and get pregnant, had a kid, that's another generation. We don't know the full extent of this tradition. But we
Right, and we
understand.
gotta understand as long as you're talking about it in the traditional sense right now, Henry. You know what I'm saying? That is a that is a consensual act because obviously, if the daughter is there, the daughter understands what's going on, and the daughter understands that that's the festival for that because she was raised up in that culture. You know what I'm saying? And and then not only that, the daughter had 365 days on the year before to be able to try to find a husband, but she couldn't. And like you said, Henry, sometimes it's financial reasons why she can't find a husband. Sometimes, I mean, I hate to say it, but sometimes it's superficial reasons, like maybe she don't look good or whatever. It's not, and I'm not trying to be of malfeasance, you know what I'm saying?
Can I give
But
you a
I'm
shocker
trying to
part?
be real about it. It's real life we talking about here.
Can I give
She
you a
might
shocker
not be
part
a.
about that?
Go ahead,
That
Henry.
that festival occur every 3 months,
Oh,
not every
see, that's
year.
why.
America, we might have an annual Christmas come every year, one time every year. Easter come one time every year. Your birthday come one time every year. But this festival, this fertility festival, where they tell you out top in this article, can you still see the article?
Yes, I can.
Where it say out top that this not just they bought it this year. No, they been bought it. Where it say why unmarried girl or barred from the festival, the community leader said. That they know that this happen every 3 months. We gotta keep our young daughters who not ready to have relationship in the house because we know that it's the time of the festival that we got to keep the community right. If we don't have this festival, our population could dwindle, die off.
Right.
So, Shin, can you
And
read
not only
this?
that, Henry. And not only that, Henry. That makes it so the only people that's at the festival is informed, consenting adults.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes,
know what I'm
yes.
saying? That's really the key. Like you got to think about it, Henry. Let's put it in the terms in America that everybody can understand. If your daughter is 16 years old, she is not getting in it. She is not getting in the 21 and up club on Friday night. She is not. This is the equivalent of what we're talking about in Nigeria with this fertility festival. But the fertility festival is once every 3 months, where the club is open every Friday and Saturday night. It's weekly. You know what I'm saying? It's the same fertility festival, right, Henry?
Yeah.
Why do people go to the club? You know what I'm saying? We all know we're adults here. There shouldn't be no kids watching. And if it is, then it's your job as the parents to guide them into an understanding that, we go to the nightclubs because we're trying to find somebody to be with or have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, and what do you gotta be to be able to get in the club? You gotta be a well informed, consenting adult.
Yes. Like you say here,
You know that.
young young unmarried girls are traditionally forbidden for appearing during certain moments of the festival in the Delta state. They know because they saying traditionally. We not making up traditionally. Every 3 months. we know, living in this community, we know that our young women is not supposed to be on the streets. So now it's another thing where you, just like here in America, you have some women who know there's drugs, know there is alcohol, know that it's sex at the party. They could go to the party, they could not do nothing, but going to Nigeria during this time, going through Nigeria during this time, you constantly know what that detail of. It's a sex festival. It's gonna be multiple guys and multiple women. It's an orgy. It's not a great festival. It's an orgy festival. You going to an orgy, it's like you going to an orgy festival and not participating. It's like going to a marijuana event and not smoking. It's like you
Why you
going,
there? That's
it's
the
like you
question right there
going,
after.
it's like you going to help build on a house and you don't build on a house and just sit there and watch. Everybody else gonna be like, hey, I thought you came to help us build this house. Why is you sitting there and just watching us?
Right.
So now we understand that, hey, just like we have spring break, they got orgy cuts. The only reason why it's a problem is because it hits social media and people who don't live in that area is looking in their perspective, in their lens, and what they
Yeah,
think
you
it
gotta
is.
have it. Hold on, Henry. Let's say it for what it is. Uninformed judgment.
Yes.
You can't have uninformed judgment. You know what I'm saying? Because uninformed judgment means that you don't know the traditions, you don't know the culture. You're on the outside looking in, and you're making judgments because you feel some type of way about what you're observing, but you're in ignorance because you don't have the facts about it. That's why that girl was saying that it's a 7-day grape festival when we know that it's a fertility slash orgy festival.
Yeah, it's an
You
orgy
know,
fest.
but right, so you gotta think in your mind, right? These festivals are from a time immemorial when procreation was a paramount practice. It's not like today in the modern time where you can just where you just gonna be popping out kids. You know what I'm saying? And it was important to the city or the town that in those times that they had these festivals in order to keep the population going,
Yeah,
in order
well,
to keep the tribes going.
yes, tribal
It's,
tribal survival. Yes, you correct. Tribal survival. We go out to war. Hey, we need more children. We need more men, children to go to war, to extend our territory, to protect our women. We need more women so we can have more children and more people to work, to grow the kingdom, to grow the tribe, the clan. We need this. Oh, we had a famine. A few of us died. But a lot of us think life is hard, so they not having no sexual relationship. Oh, now the community gotta force the youngsters to have sex to keep the community alive. So now we are living in an
and
era.
hold on, Henry, hold on, before you go too quick. And we have to explain this appropriately because you explained it correctly from the cultural perspective. Now we got to explain it from the understanding of being American. The reason why we don't in America have these type of cultural practice is because the fact that our civilization has a booming populace. So we don't have to practice these old archaic methodologies to have population because it's more than enough people to be regular. It's more than enough people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
First of all, like, and if you're going to, and if we're talking about places like LA and New York City, them Johns is already overpopulated. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? They're overpopulated. So there's no point in overstimulating places that's already overpopulated. It's already not enough room for folks.
Yes, yes. So now,
So that's those so those type of practices drop off. You know what I mean, Henry?
yes, yes. So now, we want to thank everybody for coming through our first section of Is to the Streets. We talked about going from Houston, Texas to Daytona County, Daytona beaches, Palm, Co- Palm Beach, and so many more beaches. The spring break, we talked about the spring break. We talked about was going viral from Nigeria. Thank you all. So now let's explain something. Let me put this up real quick. Okay. I lost that little tab. I don't have it no more. I'll find it. Now I'm gonna put this up then. Now we have a website. Newsroom 16.1. We have a new website. For the people who haven't heard yet, you can go check us out at www.newsroom16.com. You can also catch us on TikTok at newsroom_16. You can help our channel by donating to Cash Out Newsroom 16 under Henry Williams, your host. That will help us to get computer and different devices to help us experience a better service and a better experiment. Now, please
Don't
help
forget, Henry,
us.
too, that our personal social media links are in the description as well.
Yes, below our personal description for everything is right there in the description. So now, also, we need your help. You can help us with the Cash App or not. But what we do need your help with, we need you to hit that like button. We need you to sub to the channel. We need you to share. Share to your Instagram. Share to your Facebook. Share to your friends. We need your help. Help us to reach more people, to help and impact the community, to make people at least aware of what's going on in the streets around them. So now we're going to go into World's event. This is outside of the street. We've been going through the series of the Iran conflict. So we're gonna just drop a few videos that reference of what's been going on this week. Because Donald Trump made an ultimatum to the Iranians, you better open the Strait of Hormuz or we're gonna knock down all your power plants. Then the Iranians say, hey, you knock down our power plant, we're going to knock down your power plant, and we're going to go ahead and turn the Middle East dry. We're going to hit all the desalination plants. That's Bahrain, that that's UAE, that's Qatar, that's also Saudi Arabia, that's Jordan, that's Israel. The Middle East need that water. That's a need right there. The Middle East don't need weapons. They don't need a mansion. We all can live in tents. Everywhere we can live in tents. And igloo in some places, but we need water. So now,
Everybody gets thirsty, Henry.
We're gonna go to both sides of the conflict because we got two sides of the eagle on the dollar. In one hand, he have arrows, and then in the other hand, he have what? He have a sign of peace, olive branch. So now we're gonna go into them arrows. Let's look at the arrows, and then we're gonna go into the olive branch.
Chief National Correspondent Jennifer Griffin joins me now, reporting from Washington. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Martha. Fox News has learned the commander of the 82nd Airborne Division and his headquarters staff have been ordered to deploy to the Middle East, an indication that more ground troops could follow. Thousands of U.S. Marine reinforcements are set to cross into CENTCOM's area of operations in the Indian Ocean as soon as Friday, when one of two Marine expeditionary units arrive on board the USS Tripoli and its amphibious Ready Group. But of those 2,200 Marines, about 800 are infantry. The rest are support and logistics. For comparison, when the U.S. Marines stormed the beaches of Iwo Jima during World War II, it took 70,000 Marines and resulted in nearly 7,000 Americans killed and 20,000 wounded. Iwo Jima was 8 square miles. Karg Island is 12 square miles. There is also the issue of getting the 31st MEU, or Marine Expeditionary Unit, through the Strait of Hormuz, which remains in control of the IRGC and too dangerous to pass. President Trump indicated that he is willing to negotiate. The U.S. has struck over 9,000 targets in Iran, conducted 9,000 combat flights, and destroyed or damaged more than 140 Iranian vessels. Yesterday, the USS Gerald R. Ford, one of just 2 aircraft carrier strike groups that the U.S. has deployed to the Middle East, pulled into Suda Bay, Crete for repairs after a fire ripped through the laundry and sleeping quarters. 200 sailors were treated for smoke-related injuries.
Hold on, Henry. You forgot to play. You forgot to play the rest of the video because there was something important too that we have to understand. It's only 3 carrier strike groups near the Strait of Hormuz right now, and that USS Ronald Reagan got hit up. Now it's to the point where did it get sunk? No, it only tore up the living quarters and the laundry. But in order for them to get the ship back to action ready status, they said it's going to take up to a year to get the ship back to action ready status. So it's very important to have that understanding. So now, technically, we went from having 3 carrier strike groups in the Straits of Hormuz to having now we only have 2. So it's very important that you have to understand the logistics of this stuff. And like they said, that if you watch our previous show on the troop movements, which is I believe the Iran conflict part 3, is where you'll have the understanding that we are moving the troops. We already have accumulated a fighting force of 50,000. So it only makes sense if they went to Iwo Jima with 70,000 that we're trying to accumulate a similar force in order to invade this island and take over the oil refinery over there.
Yes.
And
Can you
if
hear
you
me?
ask, and people, and yeah, I can hear you. And to have a greater understanding too, the newscaster is not being appropriate though by saying that because the Iwo Jima was 8 miles, and this beachhead in Iran is 12 miles. She was saying it like they're gonna have a harder time instead of understanding that in today's modern warfare, conventional weaponry, it's not going to be the same as it was in 1947 or 1940. I mean, not 1947, 1943, 1944. It's not going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have stealth bombers. They didn't have F-35s watching their back. They didn't have Black Hawk helicopters with all type of sidewinder missiles and stuff like that when they were storming the beaches in Iwo Jima or Normandy.
Yes, yes. So while this news was occurring, a few hours later, this came from CNN.
There's important breaking news coming into the Situation Room. We're now learning from a senior Iranian source that there has been an outreach between the U.S. and Iran. The source tells CNN that this was initiated by Washington. With us now, CNN military analyst, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton, and CNN global affairs analyst Kim Dozier. Kim, what do you make of this development?
The U.S. just blinked. I mean, we already saw it in the series of changing tweets or truths from President Trump. You know, one day he's like, the war's about to end. The next day, we're going to obliterate your energy facilities. And then the next day, we think there are talks. From the perspective of the Iranians, this means the U.S. has capitulated, and I think they're going to have a hard time getting much more at the negotiating table than they had before this whole war was launched.
Colonel Leighton, at this point, does Iran win simply by not outright losing this war?
Yes, absolutely. I think that's certainly from the Iranian perception, that's exactly what's going on, because they need to just outlast the United States. And we have to remember, they've been around for well over 2,500 years in one form or another as an empire, and then now in its latest form as the Islamic Republic. And that is going to be the key. They have outlasted the United States and have basically told not only their own people, but the region as a whole, that they are here to stay and that their influence is going to be paramount once again in the Persian Gulf region.
Now, Henry, we talked about this 2 days ago, right?
Yes.
Henry, what did I say was the only scenario that the United States would lose this war or the war would completely stop totally? What would be the reasoning?
Break it down.
Because Congress wasn't giving up that $200 billion check.
Yes.
Immediately. There's no other reasoning behind it other than Donald Trump got word ahead of time before Congress was going to vote on the $200 billion for Pete Hegseth. And they said to Trump, they said, look, that shit's going to lose by a landslide. So what did Trump do? Like, Trump he ain't going to take, Trump is not, and everybody got to remember, Trump is egotistical. So he is not going to take the hit by Congress swooping in and stealing the glory by saying, we're not going to give you the money. So before Congress can come in and play the hero and not give them the check, Donald Trump's calling up Iran, talking about we're going to negotiate. So that way he still looks like he still looks like the hero. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's trying to save face right now because he knows Congress is not going to give him the $200 billion check. And remember what I said, Henry. What would happen next week, though, on March 30th?
What's that?
Congress has to review whether or not the war is legitimate and constitutional. If it's found that if Congress would have got to that point and says the war is unconstitutional, it's illegal, guess what happens to Trump? The articles of impeachment get filed.
Yeah.
because he went into an illegal conflict. And not only that, it is one that 80% of the American populace does not agree with. Come on now.
Yeah,
That means
so
Democrats and Henry, that means Democrats and Republicans to get to 80%.
it's saying we got United States, USA Today, main article 2 days ago. That means they rooting. They getting the propaganda before Congress because today that they chopping it up. But 2 days ago, they're like, yeah, we need it. Another big, beautiful bill may be coming to pay for the Iraq war. They worded it. So they said the Pentagon is gearing up to ask Congress for billions to fund the Iran war. Yet the path through Congress is tricky. So now we go to Associated Press News 19 hours ago. United States Senate reject war power bill that would halt attacks against Iran. So now let's read it. What this mean?
Well, hold on. Let
It
me say
say
my opinion right here.
wait. Let me say this. United States Senate Republicans reject a bill to halt the war. So they rejected a bill in an early show of support for Trump campaign, the result which fell 47-53 demand Congress approval before any further attacks. So what they saying is that they want to stop all attacks, not like Mission Creep. We don't like it's a certain
That's what I was gonna
deadline.
say, Henry.
It's a certain deadline that Trump got to go by that he could do operation till he need Congress to say this is exactly a war. But the conflict haven't reached that limit yet. They introduced a bill to say, hey, let's stop all attacks, period, till we give Donald Trump the authority. And the Republicans say, no, we want to keep the attacks till we debate on literally giving him the authorization. That's what that article was saying.
Now you see what this is, Henry. Now, if we go based on this, right? So let's go to the war in Afghanistan before we go to the war in Iran. We lost the war in Afghanistan because Joe Biden gave the order to retreat. Correct? So that was a loss. That's an official loss. However, in this Iran operation, if Congress is the one unwilling to cut the check and Congress wants to stop all attacks, that means that the laws does not sit on the United States people or as a country because we never chose to go against the Iranians in the first place. The Congress is showing they didn't approve to go against the Iranians in the first place. That's why they're unwilling to fund it. So the loss is going to be for Donald Trump administration. They need to make sure they get this right in the history books. The United States of America did not lose the conflict against Iran. The people didn't agree that there ever was a conflict to begin with. This was and most people will tell you it was a personal vendetta by Donald Trump, Pete Hegseth, and Benjamin Netanyahu. It had nothing to do with defending the United States of America.
Yes.
It was personal beef. It was personal beef. And if it's one thing Congress ain't gonna do, and it's that Congress is not gonna allow you to wield the United States military like your personal arsenal.
Yes, yes. Let me get this
So we just
right.
wanted to make sure that people seen this report. And then Henry, put up the graphics so we can show them the price of gas and the price of the oil real quick too.
Okay, we'll do. We'll do.
And it's important at this time because what we're talking about is so relevant because it's shown proof already on the world economic markets because the price for a barrel of oil has dropped significantly overnight by Congress's decision by $20.
Yes, yes. So now let me pull this up real quick. We're gonna share this media. So ears to the street, ears to the streets, ears to the streets, ear to the streets, ears to the streets.
Hey, and remember, Henry, you see, if people go back and look at the Iran conflict part 4, they're gonna see which that show we only did that show 2 days ago.
Yes.
The price for a barrel of oil was $110. It's currently under $100 at $99.82. Even though gas has not reflected the price, because gas is almost $4. So gas is still steadily rising up.
It's the
See,
future.
and if you right,
Or
so
the
and people
future.
gotta understand, too about the gasoline. It's spring break, and remember what Henry said earlier during the Houston segment. Of course they're gonna price gouge. It's spring break. Of course they're gonna raise the gas. That's not only is the gas getting raised up because the Iran conflict, the gas is getting raised up because we know you gotta go drive to spring break.
Yes, yes.
We know that you want to go drive to your vacation spots. So we gonna raise the gas because remember, Henry, at this time of the year, even if it was no war, the gas price goes up.
Let's drop our last video and sum it up. And hey, if you was here at the beginning, the music that you heard was produced, created by me and Shinakma JML. We created it. Hope you enjoyed. So now let's get into the last video.
The situation was very quickly approaching the point of no return, and the United States found it intolerable, in my opinion, based on what Steve and Jared and Pete and others were telling me, Marco, so involved, that I thought that they were going to attack us. I thought they would, if we didn't do this at the time we did it, I think they had in mind to attack us. And
the Iranian line is very simple: a cessation of all hostilities, not now, but forever. As in, we need a total and a final peace to this conflict. Second, we will demand some reparation of some kind, either in payments or in sanctions relief as a result of this war. The United States line, the Egyptians and the Turks have been calling the United States. This is what eventually caused Trump to taco and to say that he was calling and extending his 5-day deadline off. The United States line remains today. No ballistic missiles, no regional proxies, no nuclear program. Now remember, on the nuclear program, they've already said that they're not going to pursue a nuclear program. But on the ballistic missile front, and especially on the regional proxy front, those two, it's a non-starter. Regional proxy is already a nebulous term. It means nothing. But let's talk about the ballistic missile. I mean, really think about this. You are in a war. And the other side says, well, we will stop shooting you if you just give up all your bullets. What are you going to do? All right. And by the way, that's the only credible deterrent that you actually have. The only ability to extend and project power, have some deterrence, have to be able to extract some cost from the enemy and its allies. Would you give up your missile program? 5 years of a missile, basically giving up not only missiles, but all of your production. Who would be stupid enough to sign up for that deal? Oh, and by the way, you've been bombed twice under the cover of diplomacy. So this is where things now currently stand.
Yeah, but you know what else too, Henry, that that guy is failing to say too? He's forgetting that you have the right. Remember, this is a divine right. It's not just a legal right, but a divine right to self-defense. You know, everybody in everybody in life, when you're given life, has the right to defend yourself.
Facts. So now a key point we're gonna go with Donald Trump said. Donald Trump said Steve Witkoff, Jerry Kushner, also with Marco Rubio
And Pete Hesse.
and Pete Hesse and Benjamin Netanyahu was telling him that Iran was an immediate threat. They didn't tell him that, hey, Israel is planning on that. Wait, I think they might have told him. I won't say Israel didn't know. I'm gonna say Israel manipulated and might have admit some stuff. Might assuming we making sure we say our words correct here. I'm assuming that Israel did not tell Donald Trump like, hey, we about to attack Iran. But they
And
told
because
the
hold
other
on,
people.
Henry, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get into it based off what Trump said, right? Let's not misconstrue or twist up Trump's words, right?
Yeah,
So Trump said that they gave him intelligence that Iran was an imminent threat for an immediate attack on the United States of America.
correct.
How does that make sense when they don't even have the long range missiles to make it here? I'm a civilian, and I know that.
They talking about
Iran does not got a weapon that could reach America from the Middle East. So there's only one plausible option. Netanyahu went in there and said they was an immediate threat to attack Israel. But like Henry said, Benjamin Netanyahu manipulated it by saying to Trump, they're going to attack us.
let's say this. Okay. Is you and your homeboy, anybody, and it's me. Your homeboy want to punch me, but you told your homeboy, man, calm down, let them people be. Then I turn around and say, look, if your homeboy ever come and hit me, I'ma hit him and you. Because that's your homeboy and you be protecting him. I'ma hit him and I'ma come and hit you. So now Now your partner say, hey, I'm not gonna punch him. I'm gonna go with that blicky. Your partner coming to me with that blicky, and I got partners. That if anything happened to me, my partner's coming for you and yours, your friend. So your thought is like, dang, my homeboy about to go hit him up. So now, if my homeboy do that, they coming after me and my family. So I could take me and my family and run. I could take me and my family just sit there and just wait to defend ourselves. That means some of my family is going to get hurt. So now, because of this hothead, I gotta go also and attack with my partner. I gotta go. You gotta go with your friend now to
Yeah, but
attack me.
Henry, think about let's think about it though. Let's think about it more logically, right? That's like if you're out there in Maryland, off of your example, right? But your partner is St. Patrick all the way in LA. Those people who's talking about I'm gonna get you and your partner, they're no threat to St. Patrick at all.
But no, we
That
gotta
hold on,
realize
listen to me,
that.
listen to me, listen. Hold on, because I gotta say this. I gotta say this. The equivalent of what the United States did was like St. Patrick jumping on a flight to go help you in a fist fight in Maryland.
No, what they was meaning was like if Iran said, "Hey, if Israel attack me, I'm gonna attack you." What that mean was that they said they gonna attack all the Arab states. We're gonna attack Qatar, we're gonna attack UAE, we're gonna attack Jordan, we're gonna attack Saudi Arabia, we're gonna attack all these nations because they have military base. Each and every one of the military bases is United States sovereign territory. And also each and one of these military bases is being used for the defense purpose of protecting Israel and the Gulf state. So now if Israel attack us, United States, you will be using them United States bases to assist Israel with radar information. So we gotta attack them radar information and defense shield to stop you from defending Israel. We gotta attack you. So now America
Yeah, but
look
Henry,
like,
come on,
hey,
let's keep it.
Israel don't need defense now. We gotta go and attack with Israel because they're gonna be attacking our soldiers. So we rather attack them to have less casualties on our end. But look where it brought us. We had more leverage in negotiation as United States than right now. Iran have see at the beginning, Iran did not have really nothing to negotiate with. America could have got a lot of the key concerns out of the way, but now Iran hold a lot of cards in their hands. They got the straight up
They got
of
and
you.
Henry, they got the yeah, that's the major card right there, the Straits of Hormuz, right? And then, but on top of that, you got to think that your people, your friend, let's go back to the streets example, right? Because everybody can understand that it's relatable. So Henry, so if if Iran if Iran said we're gonna come on your block and we're gonna punch Tom, we're gonna punch Frank, we're gonna punch Bobby, we're gonna punch James, and those are your people, right?
Yes, yes.
And if they don't fight back, are they really your people, Henry, on the block? They just let you get jumped like that, and then they just got beat up and they didn't even fight back.
Yes,
You
yes.
know what I'm saying? You ain't who wants those type of people on your team? You're not even defending your own self.
Or there's something that's not getting told. But what I realized, Turkey is the biggest NATO military outside of United States. Not Turkey, not France, not the UK. No, not Germany, not the UK, not Italy. It is America #1 in NATO, and then it's Turkey. Turkey could not even get the F-35 jet. So think about it. If Israel lobby United States not to give Turkey them jets, we got to realize that Israel want the Arabs and the Gulf states weakened to certain points. So I believe that Saudi Arabia, Qatar don't really have no military to get go. They just paper towel. They just salute and to have a ceremonial. Their military
Yeah.
is ceremonial. But United States make the bulk of their military. So when they like, hey, Saudi Arabia, like, hey, we rather have diplomacy than using our military because the United States started this war. No, y'all don't even have no military, but y'all keeping face to tell Iran like, hey, we didn't even use our military yet. Don't let us join the fray. It's gonna be difficult. And Iran like, hey, you join, it's gonna be more problems on you. But they have not joined because I don't think they got the military. I think they buy the planes so America could use it. Like when American military go there, they got a certain set of order. Like
They
you
got the
get
attaché. That's it.
yeah, you get like this a list. If I send my son to college or daughter to college, hey, I give you this car, I give you this money to get your apartment, and I give you these clothes. Okay, bam. That's what we give the Middle East. But they could turn around and say, hey, we got this in the package. We can spend a little extra to upgrade it. So these soldiers could be using our equipment. We paying the biggest equipment for United States soldiers to have the best in this arena.
Yep.
And so we seeing that it's not actually panning out. So now,
Iran. So you're just basically saying Saudi Arabia got the apparatus and the equipment for the American soldiers to be able to use in Saudi Arabia. That's all it is.
yeah, yes.
And that's why, see, and this is the funny part about that, Henry, before we conclude up this show, that they had these Arab states is goofy, right? When it comes to that, that's goofy. How you don't have your own military when the world requirement to be a country, one of the three requirements to be a country is to have your own military, to have and maintain your own military, you know? And notice, what did he say? What did he say? Who put the leverage on Donald Trump? It was Turkey and Egypt.
Yeah, yeah.
Turkey and Egypt got full-fledged militaries. They ain't playing no games. You know what I mean? And Israel knows that it has no reason to agitate Egypt or Turkey, because that would just be a fatal blow to them. Because then not only they're gonna be fighting Iran from the east, they're gonna have to fight Turkey from the north, and they're gonna have to fight Egypt from the south.
Yeah.
And
So
we're talking about real military. We ain't talking about Hamas. We ain't talking about Hezbollah. We're not talking about gangbangers with flip flops and sweatpants on.
yes, yes. So now we about to call it a good night. So this the first of its kind. We gonna show y'all a little bit of the studio. not our studio. We're going to show you YouTube studio so you can see some of the things that we've been paying attention to that help us along now. So let me share the screen. Live screen share. See, look at us. We see, we can see and comment to people in the YouTube studio, and it's telling us that live going being live right now altogether 28 people. And right now is one concurrent person. It's one person watching right now. Let me see if I can put it. Okay, y'all can see it. I can see that y'all looking at it. So 28 people. So that's what we trying to get. If it's 28 people that came through, we need y'all to come and do this for us. Wait, let me come down here. So we look down here and it's 3 likes. Right down here is 3 likes. It says schedule for the title of the show. We got the links where we could put in web page while being live, dual stream. We could automatic generate a virtual code for short feed. We could have a live with a short feed, so when we do shorts, you can see it in that format. We could, yes. Make sure y'all check out our website at www.newsroom16.com. Check out our TikTok at newsroom_16 and come through, sub, like, share. Please. Why? Because we is at a biblical moment. Let me go to show y'all why. Okay, let me get out of here. This the channel. We is at 12,200. Just made it 12,200. We have live videos, we have everything. Now let's go here. Earn. You see that, Shin?
Yes, sir. We're right
2.8
there at the top.
million verified short views. We are, it don't show us, they show us showing data as of March 19th. And it's the 24th. This say we carefully verify each channel engagement meter before they are displayed here. This process may take several days to complete and may vary for what you see elsewhere, such as YouTube algorithm. So now, are we just waiting for is them to generate to us that it had made 2.9 or we made a 3 million verified viewpoint and then we click the button, we let you know when you eligible, we comply, and then now the channel going to be getting ready to monetize. And when that occurs, that's when we get into work on 2 angles. One, the business angle to set it up as a business. So when the funds start coming, we could split it and have it prosper to one, help us pay for any miscellaneous things in life as employee to make this into a business, and also to make sure that the business run smoothly by making sure that the internet bill paid for. Make sure the phone bills paid for using our phone. Make sure we have travel expense if we want to go and do a show somewhere that we got to pay for a lift, a taxi, a bus, a plane, a train. Whatever we want to be able to do things in the near future. That's why if you donate, your donation can help us go far. We just got our last video from last week. Our red video just reached the 100 mark. We can look at content right here, and we're gonna go to live. We showing you what we see. So that last video, that copyright is allowed. It belonged to somebody, but YouTube friendly. We got 101 view from last week. See all these 100, 200, 400 that look like it's about to be 500, 196. See, and then we got all these videos, and then this our first 188. We are now growing. We used to make 40, 30, different small amount with our number. Now we are to the point where we are gaining more views. It's that 16 is 28. Once we log out and they calculate everything, it's gonna be good. We are growing and everything thanks to you.
And make sure that for the viewers to see, that they make sure they go support that viral video that we got, the Sudan dance challenge, the
Yes,
shorts.
yes. Wait, before that, wait, let me do something. Let me do something for the people before we leave. Let me type in this. Everybody, you could see what we about to show, or you could do it yourself. You could type in www.newsroom16.com. So let me come here. We go share screen, newsroom share. We in here. Ears to the streets. We in here. So I'm gonna blow it up because y'all might not see us, but you can see the page. We gonna be way at the bottom. Here we go. This is our YouTube channel. No, my bad. This is our website. Ah, we got a homepage, we got about us, we got podcast episode. So let's go down our episodes. This is our first episode of Ears to the Streets.
Yep.
We got Travel the Multiverse with our traveler. We got my brother up in California. We got Tobias up in Florida and going different places like Las Vegas and many, many more. So they're gonna come and tell us their life experience in different locations. We got sports dungeon. We're gonna be exploring different sports, going to basketball game, going to football game, going to soccer game, and many, many more. We're gonna go to cheerleader competition, football, pee wee football competition, so much more. We're gonna also have live tarot cards reading. We're gonna have fitness. People come in the show, talk about the best way to exercise, the best way to diet, the best way to live. So you can see our shows, our live shows with it. of what's going on, the different topic, the Iran conflict. This video right here going to be up for ears to the street. Once we done, it's going to be posted on the website. And this our viral video that's got us popping. Oh, when you go to the videos, the live videos, you can vote on it. Let us know. We already got one vote for a few of the on the page, but you yourself could come on the channel and hit. We got our music video, the final sales shock. We got short videos that blowing up, and we got videos that already reached 1 million.
Viral
I don't even know what she said cause she and she got it done.
I don't want to play too much of that because this is not a short. This is a long video. So we don't want no copyright strike there. We have to mute stuff. So we got like so let's
And not
see.
only that, you know what? We need you to go click that anyway because support the channel, help us accumulate the views and the likes.
Yes. Yes. We got the special guest. See, we got the special guest short feed. We make sure that we support our guest hosts when they come aboard on a ship to come. We welcome them. You feel? We welcome and we have good time expressing that information. Yeah, they coming to stun on us with the Louis Vuitton pants. You feel? The pants shining. I'm kind of getting mad at some anime characters, but that's okay. I'm just playing.
Hey, and not only that, Henry, that's why the Iran conflict part 5 is there because even though they seen it on both pages, because those was the podcast episodes that were the most recent on the episode page, but on the special guest page, the reason why part 5 is up there is because part 5 is featuring St. Patrick and Tobias. So
Yes.
so here at New so people know when you come when you petition us on ngaworldorder.com at gmail.com, we will get back to you about you being able to come on the show.
Yes,
When you
yes,
come
we're
on the show, we will update the website with your anime picture and we will make sure that the episode that you're featured on is underneath your name.
facts. So now we're going to call it an end. Thank you for coming to Ears of the Street. You know it was a good show because we passed the 2 hour mark. and
Yes,
man,
sir.
when we passed the 2 hour mark, we got 2 extra people on board with a lot to speak on. So tonight we spoke on Houston, Texas, Florida. We talked about Nigeria, and we talked about the war going on between United States, Israel, and Iran. Thank you
And
again.
hold on, and don't forget we kept them updated with the price of the oil per barrel and the average gas price across America based on AAA.
Yeah. Yes. As your host, see you later. Alligator. Got something to say, Shin? One last thought.
Well, this ain't news. This is ear to the streets. So I'm gonna have to come out with a new mantra for this one. And you know what it is. If you know what I mean, if you can't handle the truth, if you don't like what you're hearing when you put your ear to the street, change your life.
Get out the streets. Get out the streets.
Hey, and let's not forget the mantra that Tobias said. Stop moving to work and go to work.
Oh, for real, real. For real, real. You just hit them
You
boys
know
with a
why
bop.
Henry, you know why we gotta get up off the show? Because it's getting late and we gotta go to work tomorrow.
For real, for real. For real. Naga, naga, naga. Damn, girl, I didn't know you was full of that drama. We fell off before we even seen them commas. Now you stalking, trolling, and having that one rolling. Possessor of no home, acting like you lost your dome. A new king sent on the throne. Go robo, find another bomb. Leave me and mine alone. This temple stands strong. Eventually you gonna see, as reality was meant for thee. Keep on beefing, you can't lose your family. Wasn't this supposed to be for the community? Now you disagree. All you can do is let me be. GPT, PMC, LC, move on without me. Okay. Look up, had these snakes around me. That's when I could see them worse than that bitch LV. Google it, bitch. Okay.
Hadouken, Reshatan, Nagas dem Wamigan, Sabakuga, Shadoukan, you get Hedons, Mexicans, Reshi on the Shabbat, Shatitans, Wakama, Defadama Al with the mega bombs. So I hit him with them truth missiles. Wow, the truth blitzed through with you. No magazines, you ain't get the issues. Front page dished you.